Dale Cregan, who was now under arrest at High Police Station, was being held by the police officer at the desk. The police officer asked if he had a weapon, and Cregan replied he had dropped it on the floor of the scene and said, "You was hounding my family, so I took it out on you." The officer at the station was trying to call for assistance, but the radio airways were jammed by the traffic of the two female colleagues murdered not far up the road. Now with radio contact and Cregan locked away, the bomb squad was brought in to check the BMW car in the police car park was not booby-trapped, as they took no chances thinking he might want to take out more police officers. It was fully checked and it was not. Cregan, then 29, was later interviewed. He refused to talk, giving hours of silence until one thing a detective suggested got under his skin, saying he had been a coward, handing himself in at Hyde instead of waiting at the house in Mottram for armed police to arrive. Cregan replied, "'Cause you couldn't fucking find me, could yous?" So. Also, it was the first and last time Cregan had showed any form of regret by saying he never intended on killing two women. "I wish it was men." The media were now gathering for a press conference at the HQ of Greater Manchester Police. Grim-faced, the Chief Constable, Sir Peter Fay, confirmed the deaths of two of his officers, and months, if not years, of grieving would begin. It was one of his force's darkest days, he said. The police family had been shattered by this outcome. Eyebrows were raised even among his own press team when Sir Peter spoke openly about what Cregan had done, taking care not to give him a title he did not deserve. He was unequivocal. Cregan had killed the two officers and had been protected by a criminal conspiracy to harbor him. Those who protected him, who considered Cregan and his like folk heroes, would be brought to book. Dale Cregan was charged with the murders of police officers Fiona Bone and Nicola Hughes, and also with the murders of father and son, David and Mark Short, adding up to 4 murders and 4 attempted murders at the Cotton Tree pub where Mark Short was shot and killed. Assistant Chief Constable Gary Sheridan had said earlier in the day that it would be wrong to portray Manchester as being in the middle of a gang war. "This would overestimate what we have got here. Clearly two feuding criminal families," he said. He went on to declare that enough is enough, and that Tuesday was a watershed moment that had to be the end. Over the past decade, gun crime has fallen in Manchester year on year. The force has witnessed the largest reduction in gun crime anywhere in the UK. Cregan was remanded in custody at HMP Manchester, aka Strangeways. His first court appearance was at Manchester Crown Court via video link, where he spoke yes twice. Once to confirm if his name was Dale Cregan. The second to confirm he understood the proceedings. Greater Manchester Police mourned the 2 dead officers, while Cregan now under threat from gangland rivals for the murders of the Shorts. There was rumours Cregan had a high-figure number target on his head. Most rumours was there was a hit to take out Cregan's one remaining eye. Now there were suspects who was facing murder trials for helping Cregan to commit these atrocious crimes. Luke Livesey and Damien Gorman for the murder of Mark Short. Then Jermaine Ward and Anthony Wilkinson for the murders of David Short. Also Mohammed Imran Ali. There were 7 other defendants who was later found not guilty, so I will not include them in this video. The shooting of unarmed police officers brought the British police to its knees, asking for all police officers to carry firearms. Also, it was in question to bring back hanging for cop killers, as clearly there is no regards for the law in such cases. None of these things in question was passed by government, and nothing changed with the way police handle firearms in Great Britain. Also, the death penalty would not be considered on being brought back. The murders of the 2 female officers was the first time a female officer has been killed on duty in Britain. Dale Cregan started a 17-week trial at Preston Crown Court, with his other defendants in a separate bus, travelling from HMP Manchester to Preston Crown Court daily with the high-power security escort and snipers around the court. The price of the trial was in the millions.
Yeah. That's what you call a police escort, man.
The first day of the trial was on the 4th of February 2013. Dale Cregan and the other defendants were ready to face trial, with the main four not having a chance of winning the case. 2 members of the jury was dismissed from the trial only 2 days through for saying they are fucked. They have no chance. The court heard it all started in the Cotton Tree pub. By a bottle thrown by Teresa Atkinson, a high figure in the Atkinson family who was notorious in Dresden. She threw the bottle at a man she didn't like. Raymond Young, whose response was to slap her with the back of his hand. Young was close friends and an associate with the Short family, who was bitter rivals with the Atkinsons but equally matched. Teresa Atkinson left the pub saying, "I am going to get you done in by my sons." This is what started a chain of horrific events. This led the Atkinson family, who was strongly associated with Dale Cregan, to go after the head figure of the Short family, which was David Short. It was luck that he was in the bathroom on the night of the shooting. His son Mark was shot and killed while playing pool and died in his father's arms. David Short's luck wasn't to last long. On the 10th of August 2012, Dale Cregan and Anthony Wilkinson waited for David Short at the cemetery to kill him at his son's graveside. They was in a rented van padded out in the back with pillows and duvets. When David Short didn't show that day, they could wait no longer and went to his house in Cregan. He was loading furniture from his boot but fell to the house when seen. The 2 men bust in and Cregan shot him 10 times. 3 times in the head. Cregan later told the charges that he would have preferred to kill Short with a knife. He loved to use a knife more. He also said Short had to die after threats to his family after the murder of his son. Cregan said it was the best night's sleep he had ever had after killing David Short. What Cregan and his associates were to while the police were looking for them was partially explained by evidence given by Ward in court. He broke ranks to claim he acted as a getaway driver under duress, and that Cregan had rammed a gun against his head. He told police he was kept as a slave in an apartment for nearly 2 weeks with Wilkinson and Cregan, who threatened to kill his brother or mother if he tried to escape. They eventually set him free, and on August 23 he gave himself up at a police station in Huddersfield. Cregan, despite his confession, he insisted on pleading not guilty to all the charges against him when his trial opened in February. 1 week in, he changed his plea to admit murdering the officers. It was not until almost the end of the trial, when even his mother had appeared in the witness box to tell the jury her son had killed the Shorts, that Cregan admitted he was responsible for those murders too. 2 other men, Luke Livesey and Damian Gorman, were found guilty of Mark Short's murder and the attempted murder of 3 people at the pub. They were given life sentences with a minimum term of 33 years. Jermaine Ward and Anthony Wilkinson were convicted of murdering David Short, and were given life sentences with a minimum term of 33 and 35 years respectively. Mohammed Imran Ali, found guilty of assisting an offender, was given a 7-year prison term. Cregan also admitted the attempted murders of John Collins, Michael Belch and Ryan Preeding during the attack on Mark Short at a Dresden pub in May 2012. Cregan was cleared of one remaining attempted murder charge. He smiled and shook hands with the other defendants after the verdicts. The judge, Mr. Justice Hollett QC, said he had pursued them with a cold-blooded determination to end their lives. He spoke of the horror of bodies being disfigured by the exploding of a hand grenade, adding that the killings were act of premeditated savagery. The judge told Cregan he had seen no hint of real remorse or compassion for the victims. Passing a whole life sentence at Preston Crown Court, Mr. Justice Hollett QC said Cregan had had a cold-blooded and ruthless determination to end the lives of PCS Bone and Hughes. "You acted with premeditated savagery and drew those 2 officers into a calculated trap to kill them," he said. Around 150 officers, several armed, swamped Preston Crown Court on each day of the trial, which started in February, as they monitored the complex and surrounding streets. 2 snipers were positioned on the facing roof of a solicitor's building, while a portable cabin was erected at the entrance to assist in the searching of all visitors. The cost of the security operation topped $5 million.